Good morning, friends. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing well. I say good morning, but you can probably tell by the gloaming it's another dark, grey, very damp day. Never mind, stuff to do indoors, including we're starting part 2 of the growing microgreens videos today. You'll have seen part 1 by now, I hope. If not, jump back to have a look. So I've got my little instruction card and it says days 3 to 5, taking them out of the dark. For best results, remove the tray from the dark cupboard, either according to the specific seed instruction or when they're around 1 inch tall and pushing the paper up. Don't worry, they'll be pale and won't look as vigorous as you might expect. And don't worry about the fussy root hairs either. They'll look a lot healthier when they've seen a bit of light. So, tip, you can keep and reuse the paper many times. Just soak it and it will soften up. Right, I think what we'll do is, I'm going to pop the instructions there. Get them out of the cupboard and I'll pop them in the kitchen for now so we can have a closer look before I put them on the front windowsill. And just to say, I haven't looked at them yet today, but I have kept quite a close eye on them. Well, you know what it's like when you sow seeds. You want to look every single day, don't you? Have they grown? Have they grown? Have they grown? But no, I was keeping an eye on them in terms of the dampness of the paper, because although this cupboard is away from sort of any heat source, it's the I'd say on a par with the kitchen, it's the coolest part of the flat. I was just keeping an eye on them in terms of the dampness, and the paper did dry out quite quickly, so on day 2 and day 3 I did have to put some more water on the top. By day 3, putting the water on the paper was a bit tricky because it was lifting. Let's see how they're looking on day 4. Woohoo! Oh my goodness! I've got triffids in my cupboard. Right, that's the nutrition mix and the sunflowers. Okay, first glimpse. Oh my goodness. That, look at the size of them, that's the nutrition mix. So it said when they're 1 inch tall, they look about 1.25 inches. That's the sunflowers. But like I said, let's pop through to the kitchen now so we can have a closer look at them before they go into the window. Okay, let's take a closer peek. So this is the sunflowers. It almost looks, are they too damp? They almost look like they're getting a bit of mould. I'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, but it looks like most have sprouted. And if you remember, the soaking recommendation was 6 to 24 hours, and I snuck these in at just about 6 hours, so they look okay. Now these ones, they look like a crazy jungle. Okay. Actually, that's rather beautiful, isn't it? The colours are gorgeous. Beautiful. So this is, I can't remember everything that's in this now. Broccoli, radish, kohlrabi. That's it. I wonder what the pink one is. They all look a bit pinkish. I seem to remember the kohlrabi was a red kohlrabi. So, what I'm really, really impressed with so far is the fab little sort of growing guide and all the little hints and tips dotted all the way through. I think the tips are great if you've never grown anything before, never grown anything like this before. They're really reassuring. So for example, you know, this thing about don't worry when you take them out of the dark, they will be pale, but they will green up once they're in light. So it's sort of lots of tips to say don't worry. Then it says in terms of, we'll get them on the windowsill in a moment, remove the paper layer, get them onto a windowsill. When they're there, give them about 2 tablespoons, 40 mils of water every other day until they're ready to harvest. This is an average. If you put them in a particularly warm spot, they may need a little more water, or a particularly cold spot, a little less. Just really useful little hints and tips that. And it says if you tip, it doesn't matter if you miss the odd watering or water a little too much, they're quite forgiving. Try lifting the tray before and after you water it, and make a mental note of how heavy it is when it's well watered and when it's dry. You can use this memory if ever you're unsure. Wilting greens aren't always underwatered. It could be that they're overwatered too. Mine are really quite heavy and soggy. I think because the paper was so dry, maybe I was a bit paranoid and over hasty with my watering. But never mind, they'll, like it says, they should be quite forgiving. Let's go and pop these in the window, and apparently in another 3 to 5 days, I should be getting ready to have my first harvests. Right, into the window they go. So here they are, happily ensconced in the window. It's a south-facing window, so it does get plenty of light. Not the best quality of light at this time of year, of course, it's winter, but it should be enough to do the trick. Something else I will do, this is my own tip, is I'll rotate the bowls each day so that all the little ones on this side, they can face the other way tomorrow and get plenty of light. And what I'll try to do, I'll try to remember this, I might try and take a picture here each day over the next sort of 3 or 4 days so everyone can see how they're growing, greening up, etc. before it's time to harvest. We're momentarily back in the kitchen before I end this part of the video, although this isn't the end of the video. I'm going to tag on next. Be patient, you'll see the days and the stages before we actually come to harvest, but that will be at the end of this video, but on another day. Anyway, I came back into the kitchen because I wanted to say a quick thank you to Julie. Thank you for the lovely card, sweetie. Thank you so much. Julie has sent me masses, that's all the lids, and this is the tubs. These are all the, you know, the sort of takeaway tubs. I'm always going on about how fantastic these are for storing your produce in the freezer, whether it's you're storing beans or tomatoes in as natural, unprocessed a state as possible, or you've cooked them into different meals, soups, In fact, as an example, where is it? I took this out of the freezer last night to put into the fridge. It doesn't look very appetising at the moment. Well, that's a portion of courgette and potato soup. I make the most gorgeous courgette and potato soup in the summer when the courgettes are glutting. So yeah, she sent me a load of these tubs. Thank you so much, lovely. I also was sent some a little while ago. Oh, who sent them? I can't remember now. I'm so sorry. But just to say thank you, really appreciate them. I have now got as many tubs as I could possibly wish for because I was getting short. But with these 2 batches I've had, that's going to cover me brilliantly. And it occurred to me, because this has just come today, that actually, because these ones are deeper than the ones I've got, that these would be great for doing some microgreens in as well. A little bit of compost in there. I'm thinking I might start the lentils or the, what was else was in there, peas. And so obviously these papers that you soak and cover, as you saw in the previous video, it also, one of the little tips says, you know, just use newspaper. So I could get some old newspapers to make a wad of paper for the top. So yeah, whether I'm going to freeze produce in them or grow produce in them, super duper handy. Thank you so much. I now have enough tubs to keep me going until the day I die. Right, that's it for today. But hang in there with me, because now you'll hopefully see is them quickly growing over a couple of days, and then we'll harvest some and have a scoff. So I'll see you in a second. So this is day 2 in the light. Basically they've had 24 hours in the light so far since yesterday. These, you can see they've all greened up, but they've also shot up. They must have grown another, gosh, inch. So I'm going to give them a turn today. The sunflowers, not doing much, but patience is a virtue. So this is the beginning of day 3 in the light. Let's give them all a turn again. I think, did I oversow these? Possibly. Oh, and the little seed capsules are flying off. Yeah, they're like, 3 inches tall now. Let's turn the sunnies around too. Sunflowers seem a bit more sluggish. This one has been, this was the one that was about an inch tall when they came out of the cupboard. Yeah, the sunflowers seem much slower. According to my instructions on day 4, I ought to be able to start harvesting, but I think on day 3 with these I can start. Let's see how the sunnies are doing tomorrow on day 4. Yay! It's Judgement Day! So they've now had 4.5 days in the light. Let me show you how they're looking. We'll start with the slightly disappointing one. The sunflowers. They haven't really, there's quite a lot that didn't, well, they sort of sprouted and then keeled over. But they don't look that appetising, do they? Not to worry. The thing is, I'm really glad to have tried it, and I will try a couple of the shoots that have come. I love sunflowers to snack on, sunflower seeds to snack on anyway, so that's no sort of great loss. I'll just eat the seeds, lovely. And, oh, sorry, my computer's on. And then with the other mixes, like the peas, the lentils, I know that I'll like their shoots because I've had them before, elsewhere, brilliant, and, you know, years ago. So, yeah, a bit disappointing. But never mind, it was worth trying. So that's the sunflowers. And then there was also the nutrition mix, which was, let's remember now, broccoli, radish, kohlrabi. Look at the size of that. Gorgeous. They got so tall. Now, I think I may have put a bit too much seed in. But, yeah, how fantastic. Let's just have a quick nibble. So what I'll do now, dropping them. Oh, lovely. Oh, that slight peppery kick. That might have been a radishy one. Lovely, gorgeous fresh greens in the middle of winter. Now, obviously, I have fresh greens anyway because I've got all the brassicas down at the garden. But this is just another lovely taste addition. Also, on days when, you know, it's really grotty outside and maybe I don't want to walk to the garden, if I'm having a bad knee day or whatever, I can, you know, crop, harvest indoors. So simply all I'll do, pair of scissors, zoom, 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 great big handful. Actually, I'd probably eat that in 2-3 sittings. What I'm thinking, having had this experiment now, probably what I will do in future, and certainly once this lot is scoffed, is this in total it's been, let me just concentrate for a second, in total it's been 3 + 4, 7.5, 8, say it's 8 days in total. I think what I would do in future is maybe start one of these bowls off and then wait 4 or 5 days to start another one. Maybe when one comes out of the cupboard, start another one into the cupboard, because seriously, that will all be scoffed in the next, probably in the next 3 days. And so therefore, by the time I've scoffed this, The other one would have been in the window. That will be ready. By the time I've scoffed this can then go back into the cupboard, if you see what I mean. It might even be worth me having 3 trays, yes. One that's a current scoff, one that's in the window, and one that's in the cupboard. So thank you so much to Karen, Aaron and Logan. What a fantastic gift. I've thoroughly enjoyed playing with it. I hope you've enjoyed watching them grow over the last few days. Oh, I'm going to have a couple more off. Oh, squeaky too. Oh no, ow. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great to have a go. And hopefully, you know, it's the sort of thing, like I said, obviously you don't need a kit to do it yourself. You just need a tray, some growing medium and some seeds, bit of newspaper, whatever. You can make it up as you go along. But what I've loved about the kit is I think it's great for anyone who's never done anything like this before and they're a bit nervous. A lovely thing to gift to someone, as I was gifted this. Fantastic thing to do with children, I think, especially the younger children, because it is quite quick, and that's the thing, isn't it, with kids when we're doing sowings and plantings with them. If you can get a quick result, all the better. So, right, shoo you lot, I need to make myself a nice big, I think a salad. I think they'd be lovely in a wrap because they've got a nice crunch to them as well. I'll almost certainly have them raw rather than cooked. Yeah, I need to have a little think on this. While I'm thinking, you can all go away. Thank you so much for joining me the last couple of days, or last couple of videos. It's actually been, like I said, 8.5, 9 days nearly. Yeah, so thank you for coming and hanging out with me. And I will see you all again really, really soon, I hope. Until then, please take care, keep yourselves in safe mischief, be well, and I'll see you all again really soon, I hope. Bye for now.